Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It's Wednesday the 30th of May and got the forecast for you for the next couple of weeks. First thing I want to show you today is the satellite picture. This is from weatheronline.co.uk. It's the satellite picture of Europe, and just notice how things starting to break down now across the western part of the British Isles and out into the Atlantic. Area of high pressure that we had over the weekend and the late part of last week is now clearing away, so the sunshine, the heat, it's all draining away, and we're starting to see this Atlantic weather try to make some inroads into the British Isles. You can see how unsettled it is across Eastern Europe too. These are some monster thunderstorms across in the eastern parts of Europe. Better through central parts, but little bits and pieces of cloud affecting southeastern parts of Spain. So not sunshine all the way there by any stretch of the imagination, but of course it's this area that we want to focus on. Now, as always, I always say this to you, the sites get free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen. So if there's an advert you see that you like, click on it and go through to the advertise, because it's that generates the revenue for us and it keeps the site free of charge. Of course, the adverts are there for you to click on, not just because they're there, but if you're interested in what they're actually offering you. So, what did I want to show you next? This is the one I want to show you next. This is the 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow. So this is about 18,000 feet in the atmosphere. And the reason we use this is because it gives us a good overall indication as to how developments are likely to be in the next 7 to 10 days. It's got two model runs. It's got the ECMWF on the left here and the GFS on the right. And if the two stack up, then you can have reasonable confidence in the forecast that they're giving. And you can see how both are giving it good agreement. This is the period from next Wednesday through to Saturday the 9th, and it's showing us with a cold pool up towards the northwest of the British Isles, low heights here and low heights on the ECMWF as well, in fact below normal heights shown by those blue colours. Now, ECMWF makes more of it than the GFS does, and I tend to lean towards this ECMWF idea, although I wonder if we're about 2 or 3 days out on this. It could be after these dates that we start to see these conditions develop. Quite interesting to see how far south the jet stream is on both of these. Look, the GFS taking it across the Atlantic just north of the Azores, but look, bringing it through the Bay of Biscay, northern France, northern parts of Germany and into the west of Russia. This is pretty low for this time of year, and in terms of low in terms of latitude, and the ECMWF doing pretty much the same. There it is north of the Azores, down through the Bay of Biscay, up through northern France, the north of Germany and Scandinavia. Now, this is stacking up to show all the signs of what we call a European monsoon, which is where the weather becomes more unsettled through June across much of Europe, and we're going to have to watch for that, I think, in the coming days. So let's just put some detail on it. These are the forecast charts from weatheronline.co.uk. In fact, before I show you that, let me just show you this chart. Those of you on Twitter and Facebook, for those of you on Twitter, you can follow me at Weather School, or on Facebook just do a search for Weather School and you'll see the Weather School group there. I just wanted to show you this chart. This is the temperature chart for London, and you can see how temperatures cool off significantly, look, as we get into this weekend. But you can see how after a short time the temperatures do actually recover again into the middle part of next week, although not to the levels that they have been previously. Something else just to note is these yellow lines here are the minimum temperatures. Look at those. These are 3 degrees here in London, so that is very close to the risk of a ground frost. And looking at the other temperatures, Cardiff is very similar. Also similar in Birmingham. Look at these low temperatures here through this weekend and early next week. And we're similar as well for Glasgow, and a similar profile there for Aberdeen too. Not quite as cold overnight the further north you go. So certainly it's something that you need to be aware of, that we could get very close to a ground frost during this weekend and early next week. And of course for bedding plants and for the farmers amongst you, that's really vital information. So, as I say, let's get some detail on it. This is today at 3 o'clock this afternoon. High pressure still to the north, high pressure to the south. A link in between the two of these, but you can see showers developing already through this afternoon here on the charts. And some of these could be quite heavy, although they will tend to be fairly isolated. Big area of low pressure though developing out in the Atlantic. That's the feature that's really going to be bullying this high into submission over the coming days. Overnight tonight we find cloud increasing across the north, and I think we will find some outbreaks of rain through moving through Ireland, western Wales and into northern England as well as eastern Scotland by the morning. A front coming south over eastern Scotland, a front going north through Ireland, the two combining to bring plenty of cloud. Through tomorrow afternoon it looks as if most of the rain is across the northern half of Ireland into northern England as well. Bits and pieces perhaps for East Anglia, dry for many parts of England and eastern Wales, but some rain in western Wales there. High pressure is actually still there through Friday. We've got the remnants of a front just lying through the country here. You can see through Northern Ireland, Wales, the Midlands, South East England. A much cloudier day through these areas than we've had over the last few days. Brighter skies and much colder across Scotland. Brighter skies too for the far south of England. And it's this northerly flow, look, coming down here onto these eastern coasts that's going to be blowing the colder air inland. And then through Friday and into Saturday, high pressure is still around, but it's still fairly cloudy during that time. Here's the cold air, look, it's come southwards through Friday, it comes south into Saturday too. We start to pick up a more of a southeasterly flow across Ireland, southwest England on Saturday, this perhaps bringing some outbreaks of rain to the south of Ireland and southwest England. And then through Sunday, look, that rain is still over southern Ireland. It's nudging up through the far southern coast of England, through the Channel, where it becomes quite breezy. East-northeasterly winds here could easily get up to 25 knots, so we're up to a force 6 across the south here, but drier to the north with this northerly flow bringing in those cooler conditions. And then for Monday, well, it looks as if it should be a fair day through most of Monday with a fair amount of cloud around though, particularly northern and eastern areas. Best sunshine out towards the west, but an area of showery rain moving its way southwards during the day, most of it for central and eastern parts of England. I don't think it's going to be amounting to very much. I don't think it's going to be spoiling the beacons or particularly affecting parties that much, although you may need to briefly dash inside. And I think generally that rain will be fading away, although these eastern areas could all be troubled by it through the day. Just a chilly day, I think, on Monday, particularly compared to what we've had, but it could be a lot worse for those parties. Into Tuesday now, and we start to see the low really try and get its act together. Look, we've swapped from high to low pressure, one centre across Scandinavia, another west of Ireland, and we try to bring in that rain during Tuesday. Now, I think the model here is a little bit quick on doing this. I think this is probably going to be a bit slower, but I think Ireland's going to be wet on Tuesday. I'm not sure about England and Wales. There may be some showers for western parts of Wales and some rain later on. I think it'll be Wednesday before it arrives proper, but this overall pattern is probably correct in that low pressure will be taking control of the weather from the middle part of next week. We'll find some rain, we'll find some showers at times, and some of those showers becoming heavy, particularly late on in the week, and you can see what happens with a more significant area of low pressure developing by the back end of the week and into the weekend. I think really it's going to be next weekend, so this is this 10th period that I've been talking about. That's when we're going to see the real breakdown in conditions, and I think that could lead us into some pretty unsettled weather, I think, for the beginning part, or the middle part of June. You can see it there on the chart for the 12th of June. Look, low pressure right the way through. The jet stream is coming straight through the British Isles at this time. So I think some more unsettled conditions for the middle to the end of June. A little bit hit and miss as to how we actually get to those unsettled conditions from about the 5th or the 6th onwards, but certainly we are going to see this tendency to more unsettled weather with rain. I don't think a washout, but I certainly think more unsettled than we've been used to over the last few days. And what is it now? A week, 10 to 10 days. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Reminder that the adverts are there for you to click on if there's one that you like, because it's that generates revenue and keeps the site free of charge. So thanks again for watching, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.